Louis Machiel's being strapped into the car. And you can see the panic setting in now. This clearly is a big drama for the team. Car number 20 then, set conceivably here to inherit the class lead. This is the Sofrev Autosport Promotion Ferrari. Guillaume Moreau at the wheel of it. He shares the car with Franck Morel, Ludovic Badet and Jean-Luc Bobelic. And Andrea Bertolini explaining to the team why he brought the car in slightly earlier than planned and what the problem may be.
Dirk, it's quite some pace you guys have picked up through the night.
Yes, it was a really difficult race for us, especially in the beginning. We came from starting position 49, now we are second. So great effort so far from the whole Schubert team. And in the night it was difficult to stay out of trouble. There was a lot going on, a lot of safety cars. And the weather really gave us a hard time. But the car is quite easy to drive. So for us it was so far a lot of fun. Now it gets quite tough.
Dirk Vanner, one of the drivers of the new second-placed BMW, along with Edward Sandstrom and Claudia Hertgen. But now in the Vita4-1 camp, things are not looking good because when getting used, the car is being given a drive-through penalty. Now, the reason Bertolini brought it in was because the alarm light came on warning about low fuel pressure, but the engine was starting while the car was still up on its jacks, and that's not permitted under the regulations, so a drive-through penalty is being applied. There in the pit garage, look, is one of the two Hexis AMR Aston Martins. The number 3 car was in the gravel because Julian Rodriguez went off the circuit, lost quite a lot of time while they brought it back, and now checking over the car, getting the gravel out of places that gravel is not meant to be, but this is going to drop the car further and further down the top 20. Hexis, a team brought up on 60-minute GT races, so to do a 24-hour race is a very big ask, and it's going to be a brake, disc and pad change while they've got the car in the garage. You can see that it's starting to lack finesse, this, but they just want to get the car back into the race. Yann Claret, Pierre-Brice Mena and Julian Rodriguez, the 3 drivers of the number 3 Aston. And there is the sister car that is running well in 4th place overall at the moment. Fred Makovici sharing the car with Henri Moser. And the 3rd driver of the car being Steph Dusseldorf, the winner in the GT1 World Championship. And the Aston Martin having lost a bit of ground to the all-conquering Audis, but it's still running very competitively. Car 3 back into the race then. It was a long pit stop, but the main thing, of course, is that the car is still running. Now, as far as the fight for 3rd is concerned, Louis Machiel's back into the race. But the gap now is starting to come down because the number 4 Hexis Aston Martin is chasing after him, but there is the drive-through penalty board. Now, it's on the timing screen, and it has been for 3 or 4 laps now, but Machiel's is not responding, and the fact that the team is getting so animated suggests that he's got a radio communication problem. He can't hear the message from the team. He's not looking at the pit boards, but they can't get the message across to him. And this is going to be a big, big problem. If you don't pit within 3 laps, you risk being disqualified.
Andrea, a tense and frustrating time for you. How will you be interpreting the black flag?
It's horrible, really, because we push like a crazy also all the race, all the team. Now we receive black flag. I would like to speak also with the marshal because we had a problem, a big problem with the radio system. But so we try, we do within our drive-through, you know, it's not a sprint race, it's a 24-hour. I hope for something, because it will be really frustrating. We receive a black flag, we drive safe all the race, we drive really perfectly, just because we don't have a problem with the radio. So I hope somebody think about this and we'll see what is the last decision, because I don't know what is possible to do.
Will you keep pushing until you do get to speak to the officials?
Yeah, I would like to speak with the official, because I think everyone understands we had the problem of the radio communication. Everyone want to do the drive-through because everyone put, but also the driver is really tired. No, I don't know what we do. I don't know, really.
Thank you.
Andrea Bertolini talking about, and there it is, the black flag, and that means one thing, doesn't it? That means the car is going to be excluded. So for not responding to the drive-through penalty within the regulation 3 laps, Louis Machiels is going to now, I'm afraid, be excluded from the race. And he still hasn't even come in to serve the drive-through, but things are going from bad to worse for the team now. Michael Bartels, the team owner as well as driver, on the pit wall now. Finally, Machiels has got the message. He's coming down the pit lane, but it's really too little too late. The car stops, and the body language from the race official there saying, forget it, you're going nowhere. The Vita 4-1 Ferrari excluded. The car is out of the race, and that means the Pro-Am Cup class leader is an instant retirement. The car being sent to its pit box, and then it will be retired. The driver will go to race control and explain himself. As meantime, out on track, there's a good fight here, look, between the surviving Vita 4-1 Ferrari and the Audi, number 32, the Stefanatelli Bert Longchamp Philippe Albuquerque car. This is a fight going on now for 4th and 5th places. Matteo Bobbi, Giacomo Petrobelli joining Frank Kekela in the Vita 4-1 Ferrari. Bobbi and Petrobelli moving for this event from Scuderia Vittoria. And Andrea Bertolini's face says it all. Louis Machiels gets out of the number 2 Ferrari. Words not necessary at the moment. The car is out of the race, out of its class lead. Now this will put into the lead of the Pro-Am Cup the number 20 Ferrari, which is now being driven by Jean-Luc Bobelic, but he's being caught, look, by the Mercedes here of Mike Jordan. The number 50 Ferrari running between them, trying to unlap itself. The AF Corse Ferrari working its way through on the inside. And Mike Jordan, who's been reeling in Jean-Luc Bobelic, now tries to make a move on the inside, and he goes through the Mercedes of the Pressy-Spark team. Mike Jordan, David Jones and his twin brother Godfrey Jones now up into the lead of the Pro-Am Cup. Great effort this. And there is David Jones, studying the monitors, looking a little bit nervous here. The former British GT champion, looking as though a class podium is a real possibility here. Richard Westbrook at the wheel of the 888 Manthey Porsche, and as ever, he's pressing on. Works his way through the traffic, a wave to acknowledge that the slower car got out of his way. And the Porsche, badly delayed early on in the race when it needed an alternator change, has worked its way back into contention. It's just outside the top 12 now, and still more progress to be made before the end. 8th in class, the Ford GT, Marcus Paltner at the wheel for Mark VDS Racing. The pole-sitting BMW retired early with a diff problem. This car still going strongly. Behind it you see the black number 50 AF Corsa Ferrari that led at the end of the first hour of the race. And that has had penalties and punctures and trips through the gravel, but it's still going, and he's battling back towards the top 10 overall. Now there, number 4, Fred Makovici, who is now way down in the Pro Cup. It's been a rather lengthy pit stop, and the car has been in the garage. It's had some damage, so now the car is back on track, but there was some damage when Seth Dusseldorp was at the wheel. Let's find out what happened.
Seth, can you explain what's going on with the car?
I had a small collision with one of the Audis from United Motorsports. He was blue flagged, but I thought he gave me some space. He made the corner we hit, not really hard. Nothing special. 40 minutes after, I started having some smoke and some liquid on my windscreen, and the problem was the power steering gave up, and they fixed it, but now we're back on P12, I think. Too bad.
Thank you.
12th overall, then the car has fallen to 7th in class. And there's about to be a driver change here for 888 as you look at the Pro-Am Cup standings, with the Mike Jordan Jones brothers Mercedes leading the way. Richard Westbrook at the wheel of 888 with lots of smoke out of the back, and now flame as well. The Porsche catches fire going down the pit lane, and Richard gets the message and he stops, and that is very definitely a broken engine. Richard Westbrook's race is at an end, and now, because the car has expired at the end of the pit lane, there's a traffic jam. That's the narrowest part of pit exit, barrier either side, and you've got the Simon Knapp, David Hart, Jeroen Den Boer BMW blocked in. It can't get out of the pit lane. The marshals are there with the fire extinguishers. I think Richard now is going to try and help push the car out of the way. Yes, he does. So the pit exit is clear once again. So yet another rapid car out of the race.
Richard, I thought you would have needed a seat after that rather hot moment in the car. What happened with the Porsche?
Well, I didn't know, actually. It was just they were screaming down the radio, and they forgot I don't speak German. So luckily I knew there was something wrong. And yeah, that's it, game over. And I think we were 29 seconds behind the, a podium finish in Pro-Am, and that's what we, really wanted for everyone at Haribo. We sort of really feel like we deserve a result. We were fighting for the lead for the first few hours, and then we just hit problems one after the other. But, we came back from 42nd to top 10, and then just right at the end where I was given the green light to go and push and get that podium, and don't even make it out of the pit lane. So it's been a tough year, and looking forward to next year, if I'm really honest.
You could hear the noise, couldn't you?